One of the things that people ask quite often is, how did Market America start? Or why did we start it? And that's a very interesting question. To tell you the truth, it started because nobody else would do it. That's why I did it. I was in marketing and sales for years as an entrepreneur, and I saw the same problems reoccurring. And I would tell Lauren, oh, there's a better way of doing this, and try to explain it to her. That in order for one person to succeed, another person fails in most of these things. And the horizontal system spreads people too thin, and there's no common economic bond, and people aren't working together. And I would go on and on and on and on. And she would listen. And she was just 18 at the time. And she said, JR, big boy, you're so smart. You believe this so much. Why don't you do something about it then? Why do you stay with companies and ride it down to the very end trying to make it work when you have a better way? And you know, nobody ever said that to me before. Nobody ever believed in me that much. And I guess it was because she believed in me so much and at the same time irritated me so much that I decided to give it a try. And that truly was a magic moment, because in my mind, we did have a better way. And that became the Market America model. But at the same time, there was one other very important notion, very important belief that I was passionate about. I believed that people believed in what their friends said more than they did in advertising. That word-of-mouth advertising was certainly more powerful than mass media. And that if you could track that and somehow know what people wanted and know who they were connected to, you could build a company around that and allow all the people to make more money and provide better products and services, because you'd be eliminating the cost of mass media, mass advertising, and mass distribution. And something happened one time that really convinced me. One night we wanted to go out to a movie. Have you ever had that experience? Now, the smart thing to do is to ask a friend. Wouldn't you agree with that? Ask a friend that you know that has similar taste to you, that you have, what they have seen recently. What do they like? What's good? Well, I started calling people, and it just so happened that that night nobody was home, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So we just picked one. We took a chance, and we went to the movie, and we were lucky. It turned out to be a fabulous movie. I was caught up in the moment. I was laughing, crying. It was just fabulous. So while I was at the movie, it was an incredible experience. But when the movie was over, the best part came. I couldn't wait to get home and tell people about it, to tell my family, my friends, the people at work about how great this movie was. And you know, I spent more time talking about the movie, telling people about it, than I did actually sitting in the movie theater watching it. And I was having fun. Now, they didn't act too impressed. They said, so what? Yeah, that's nice. But the next week, when they wanted to go to a movie, they thought about what I said, and they ended up going to that same movie. They had the same experience. They got caught up in the moment. And then when the movie was over, they had this exciting experience of wanting to go tell people about it too. And I repeated over and over again. To make a long story short, by the end of a month, 300 people had gone to that movie because of my big mouth. And I didn't make a dime, but the movie house made a lot of money. And it occurred to me, what if you could track that and then actually pay people for having led to the people who bought the product? And why couldn't you do that with any product? It was so fascinating to me that I actually went to the 12 people that I told about the movie and asked them, who did you tell? They told me, and I contacted them, and they told me who they contacted, making me realize that we could track it. And that is what gave birth to the Market America one-to-one marketing model, where word of mouth is more powerful than advertising. And by tracking people and having a community of customers with economic glue between them, We can virtually provide people anything they want at a better price and better quality. And that's what Market America fundamentally is all about as a one-to-one marketing company. Of course, the proliferation of the internet changed everything with this model. And it became apparent that we could do what normally could only be done with 100 people with 1 million people, and use economies of scale to give people even better prices, better products, and to allow all of us to make the money rather than the giant corporations. And that's truly what Market America is about. So in that little house, it wasn't the size of our facility, okay? I shared the concept with a few people, and to my dismay, they believed it too. And of course, it was Mark, it was Lauren, it was Joe Boyard, okay, and a handful of people that got it off the ground, and Dennis and Marty joined us, and Kevin, and now I was in deeper than I could get out, because I told people about this belief and this vision, and to my dismay, they believed it too. And that was the beginning. And this vision was a very clear vision, a very lofty vision, okay? But it was our belief that we should have a business model that was based on what the average individual could actually and realistically do. I had a fundamental realization that one of the most powerful things in the world was the human desire to be free and succeed. Entrepreneurism. I want to do my own thing. I want to be my own boss. I want to make more money so that I can give my family a better life. That basic fundamental desire in every one of us is so powerful, but nobody created a model ever to feed that, to free the people, to allow at the very grassroots level of our countries, of our world, to allow people the chance to be an entrepreneur, to grow their dream, to make it happen, to do their own thing. So we set out to create a model like that. Instead of having an Amazon with one site, okay, or a Walmart that controls all the money, put it in the people's hands. Create an opportunity where people would spread the word rather than advertising, where people would handle the company, okay, or the customer. And we set out to do that. A retail system rather than a buying system. Most marketing systems or distribution systems are based on companies selling inventory to a distributor or salesperson and then them having to find a way to move it. We didn't want that. We wanted something that was product-driven, which offers a diversity of products and services. But people were beating the door down for the product. You didn't have to buy it and find a way to sell it. People were coming to you because they wanted it. They can't live without OPC3. They need more of that isotonics. They need more of that matrix skin. So it wasn't about inventorying products and then having to find a way to move them. It was about people beating down the door to buy products and you earning money as a result of that. Is that a good idea? I think that's a smart idea. Organizational structure that created a vested economic interest for the success of everyone, where instead of competing, and instead of having to move up by moving somebody out, we worked as teams because our success was mutual. There was a common bond where when one person succeeded or produced or advanced, everybody advanced, everybody succeeded.